Hello guys, welcome to a new video. This is math class, and first I'm going to talk about the value for July, that is self-esteem. And self-esteem is an important to our well-being as legs are to a table, and it's essential for physical and mental health and for happiness. Remember that you are so special and you have to build your positive self-esteem. Okay, remember to practice these values in your life. This week we are going to learn about solving with quadratic formula. So what about quadratic formula? Definition. The quadratic formula is an algebraic formula used to solve quadratic equations. The quadratic formula is a milestone along the path to fully understanding algebra. To understand it, to value it, to apply it correctly, and you need to know a tiny bit of its background, then appreciate it every term in it. So quadratic equation in standard form is like this. Ax to the second power plus bx plus c equals to 0. If you see, we have a, b, and c. So you have to change the values from this quadratic equation from the quadratic formula. So the quadratic formula is x equals to negative b, positive or negative, square root of b to the second power, negative 4 times a times c, and all of this divided by 2 times 8. So quadratic equations are actually used every day. They can be used to calculate areas, formulate the speed of an object, and even to determine that a product is perfect. Okay, it is important that you know how to find solution from quadratic equation using that quadratic formula. So it's time to work. Okay. And the first example that we have is find the solution of x to the second power negative 2x negative 2 equals to 0. So the first step we have to do is identify the coefficients of the quadratic equation. So if I say we have to find a, b, and c. Okay, so this is a, this is B, and this is C. So that means A equals to 1, okay? 1, because if we don't have a number, this means it's 1. So 1 for B is negative 2, and C is negative 2, okay? Now we have to substitute the values of A, B, and C in the general formula. General formula is x equals to negative b, positive or negative square root of b to the second power minus 4 times a times c, and all divided by 2a. Okay, quadratic formula always is 4, okay? The quadratic formula doesn't change, okay? Now we will have to substitute the values. X equals to negative because it's from the formula, and b, the values for b is negative 2. So we have two signs. We have to make with parentheses, negative 2, positive or negative, square root, b to the second power. Okay, the values for b is negative 2, okay, and then to the second power, minus 4, and the values for A, this is multiplied. So values for A is 1. And the values for C is negative 2, right? Okay. Then all divide by 2. And the values for A is 1. Okay. Then you have to calculate negative times negative equals to positive 2, negative, positive or negative square root, okay? Negative 2 to the second power, it means negative 2 times negative 2 is 4, okay? Then negative, okay, wait. We have to multiply signs. Okay, so negative 4 times 1 equals to negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 2 equals to positive 8, okay? And then 2 times 1 equals to 2. Now we have to add inside the square, so x will be 2 positive or negative square root of 4 plus 8 equal to 12, and then divide by 2. So now you have to find a number from the square root, and if you do square root of 12, you will have a decimal number. So what we have to do in this case, we have to find two numbers that give me tables that give me 12. So in this case, x equals to 2 positive or negative. In the table of 2, if you multiply 2 times 6 equals to 12, so 2, and then square root, and the table of 3, you can find 12 too, okay? So 2 and 3 will be our numbers, and then divide by 2. Okay, now if you see, we have 2 and 2 up and down, so we have to delete. And then we only have positive or negative 2 square root of 3. 2 has to be to other side of positive and negative, so it passes as 1, okay? So if x equals to 1, positive or negative square root of 3, and this is our solution, okay? We have two solutions because we have positive and negative, so we will have x1 and x2. x1 will be equals to 1 positive square root of 3, and x2 will be 1 minus square root of 3. And this is our solution for this equation, okay? In the second example, we have to find the solution of x to the second power plus 4x plus 6 equals to 0. ABC will be A is 1, okay, 1. B is 4, and C is 6. So now we have to change the values on quadratic formula. So x equals to negative b, positive or negative, square root of negative b, no, wait, let me erase, because b is positive. Okay, b to the second power minus 4 times a times c, and all divided by 2 times a. Now we are going to change the values. X negative b, so negative b, the values for b is 4. Okay, positive or negative square root b to the second power, the values for b is 4, so 4 to the second power minus 4 times a, the values for a is 1, and the values for c is 6. Okay, and then divide by 2a, the values for a is 1, okay? Now we have to do, okay, negative 4, positive or negative square. 4 to the second power is 16, okay? And then for negative 4 times 1 equals to negative 4, and negative 4 times 6 is negative 24. Okay, and then 2 times 1 equals to 2. I'm going to continue here. Okay, so now we have to subtract here. X equals to negative 4, positive or negative, square. 16 minus 24 equals to negative 8, divided by 2. Okay, here we have a problem because our our number inside of the square root is negative. So what we have to do, we have to change or convert a number as imaginary to change the value and make positive. So x equals to negative 4, positive or negative, square root of 8 imaginary. If you see, we don't have negative number, but now is imaginary because we changed to negative to positive, okay? And divide by 2. Now we have to divide negative 4 by 2, so equals to negative 2, positive or negative square root of 8 imaginary. So as you know, we have positive and negative, so that means we have two solutions, x1 and x2. So x1 is equal to negative 2 positive square root of 8 imaginary, and x2 equals to negative 2 minus negative 8 imaginary, okay? And this is the solution with this equation, quadratic equation, solving with quadratic formula, okay? So this is all, guys. Thank you for your attention. Have a nice week.